Okay, there was a king called Bhartrhari, and this Bhartrhari was a king also. He was a poet also. He was a very warm hearted person, very kind king to his own citizens. And he had a beautiful wife, only one wife. Generally, kings will have many queens, whereas this king was a noble king. He had only one wife, one queen. And he was appreciating his wife or his queen heavily. He was heavily in love with her. One day, uh, he started composing poems on love. Because he was loving his own wife, he kept on composing more and more of poems, all on romance and love. And he composed totally about 100 poems. When he composed all these 100 poems, he named the book as Sringara Shatakam. Sringara means romance, Shatakam means 100. It was a collection of 100 poems. He named it as Sringara Shatakam. And this book he simply released. And many of the youth started reading this book. And all these romantic youth, they got inspired by his book. After a few years, he thought, am I giving a wrong message to my citizens? Because I have written a book which is on love and romance. My citizens should not mistake this with something else. Because what is the difference between love and lust? Many times, lust is confused with love. Prema ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಾಮ. ಯಾವುದು ಪ್ರೇಮ, ಯಾವುದು ಕಾಮ? ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸರ್ತಿ ಕಾಮವನ್ನೇ ಪ್ರೇಮ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊತಾರೆ. Many times lust is confused with love. When somebody is in love with somebody, they will sing a song, O Mehabuba, O Mehabuba, they sing that song. If at all the same love is crashed out, if the lover leaves, then they sing a song, Mera dil hai tot gaya. This way. So, they have confused themselves with this particular love affair. So, Bhartrhari thought, whatever was my intention in writing the book, and in whatever way my citizens take it, if it is going something wrong, I may be giving a wrong message to my own citizens. So, Bhartrhari started writing one more book on ethics and morality. If in lust, if there is ethics, if in lust, if there is morality, then the life is sustainable. Otherwise, in the name of lust, people will start doing crimes. So, he being a sensible king, he thought, life requires ethics and morality also, character also, not only love and lust. Only by romance and love, life will not sustain. Love must be backed up by morality and ethics and character. So he started composing such poems, and that was called as Niti Shatakam. He composed another 100 poems, and he compiled that book as Niti Shatakam. But this book did not become as popular as the first book, which is very common. It is a general psychology that very quality movies, in Kannada we have a great film director called Girish Kasarvalli. Each and every movie he makes is a legend. It's a treasure. But Kannadigas don't know about it. Majority movies allow Kochu, Machu, Gundu, Tundu. Majority of the movies. One hero, one heroine, one villain, some fight, some song. This is a general masala formula. So naturally, the first book became very popular. His second book did not become as popular as the first one. But the second book was read by the scholarly people, the wise people. In general also, the films made by Girish Kasarvalli, people like me watch a lot. People like me appreciate a lot. But the general mass will not watch those movies. One great movie Nagabharana made, Allama. Very classic movie, great movie. The movie is about Allama Prabhu. Great movie. But Allama, how many Kannadigas have watched it? That way, there is a difference. As per the Gaussian distribution curve or the standard distribution curve, If you have a sigma plus 1 minus 1, generally at the top the curve is narrow, means at the top the percentage is less. In general, in philosophy, people say that it is lonely at the top. Always at the top it is lonely, because hardly only less people only climb till the top. Remaining mass is at the bottom only. That way his romantic book became very popular. The second book, Niti Shatakam, did not become very popular. Anyway, the king thought, anyhow, whatever I wanted to write, I have written. It is up to the people to accept it now. King had a satisfaction that he covered up the mistake which he did in the first book. After a few years, one day, one saint came to the king's court. When the saint came, he had a sack around, and the saint told to the king that, my dear king, I am inspired by your second book, Niti Shatakam, where you have spoken about the importance of character. I am pleased with that particular book, and I wanted to give you a gift. I have brought a gift for you. And that saint put his hand into the sack and took out an apple. And that apple he offered to the king. Now Bhartrhari asked, what is the specialty of this apple? Now the saint said, I have charged this fruit with my powers of my penance. ನನ್ನ ತಪಶಕ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ನಾನು ಈ ಹಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಣವನ್ನು ಪ್ರದಾನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. I have blessed this fruit with my spiritual powers. So whoever consumes this particular fruit, they will remain very healthy, very strong. Okay. So Bhartrhari accepted it. Bhartrhari had a prostration to the saint, and the saint went away. Now Bhartrhari took this fruit to his palace, and he thought, I have my dear wife, and I love my wife. So should I consume this fruit, or should I give it to my wife? Or should we eat 50-50? We should not eat 50-50. We should not share it, because saint has charged it fully. So it should not be 50-50 again. So as I am loving my wife, love also means sacrifice. Prema ellidiyo alli tyagavu ide. So Bhartrhari thought, let me give this fruit to my queen only. Let me ask her to consume it. He went to the palace. He gave this apple fruit to his queen, and he told her about all this incident, and he told her, you consume the fruit. Queen agreed, and queen took it. Later on, Bhartrhari thought that queen would have consumed the apple. After about a week, the dancer of the court came to the king's court, Bhartrhari's court. That lady dancer told to the king that, my dear king, I have a precious gift for you. And Bhartrhari said, what is that gift? Now, that dancer took out one apple, and she told, I want to offer this apple to you. Whoever consumes this apple, they will live very healthy. Now Bhartrhari asked, from where did you get this apple? Now the dancer told, my dear king, you don't worry about from where did I get this apple, but this apple is a very special apple. It has been charged by the spiritual powers of a saint. Okay. Bhartrhari immediately came to know this is the same apple which a week before saint had offered to him. Bhartrhari became suspicious, and he asks that lady, the dancer, that you tell me from where did you get this apple, otherwise I am going to execute you. He threatened her. Out of fear, the dancer told, this apple was given to me by the commander-in-chief of the army. Now the king called commander-in-chief of the army, and the king asked the commander-in-chief, you tell me who gave you this apple, and he threatened the commander-in-chief also that he will get him executed. Then the commander-in-chief told that the queen gave him this apple. Queen gave him this apple. King gave the apple to the queen. Queen gave the apple to the commander-in-chief. Commander-in-chief gave the apple to the dancer. Dancer is coming back to give the apple to the king. It is not love triangle, it is love quadrangle. In general, we see movies of love triangle. This is a peculiar story of love quadrangle. And this is a true story. Whatever I am telling you is true. It has happened in 15th century. Now, Bhartrhari thought, what a fool I was. I was loving my wife and I was thinking that my wife will love me back. It was not so. My wife was loving the commander-in-chief. And my wife may be thinking that she is loving commander-in-chief, so commander-in-chief also will love the wife back. That was not so. Commander-in-chief was loving the dancer. And the commander-in-chief may be thinking that the dancer is loving him back. It is not so. The dancer is loving the king. What type of stupid life is this, where four people are living in foolishness, assuming that someone else is loving us? And Bhartrhari became highly dejected. He thought that the way in which we have affection towards people, we don't get it back. With my own wife, I did not get it back. That means whole of life, internally, she is having some other affection with somebody else. Externally, she is only showing that she is my queen. There is no point in living this way. This king was a very sensible king and his heart was broken. Not the physical heart. You are seeing the heart here which is beating. Physical heart was not broken. His internal heart was broken. In Sanskrit we say Hrit Aya. Hrit Aya. Hrit means center. Center of yourself. That is called Hridaya. So he felt dejected. He thought, I should not stay in this kingdom anymore. He simply left the kingdom. He took up sannyasa. And he started penance alone. Bhartrhari became a saint. Even after becoming a saint, he did not keep quiet. He started composing poems further. He wrote another 100 poems about the impermanence of life, dispassionate nature of life. Whatever you expect, you will not get in this life. So you should not have too heavy expectations. You should not expect a lot from people, because most of the people will not be knowing about what is that particular expectation. They may not be caring for that also. So Bhartrhari wrote another 100 poems called Vairagya Shatakam.